So I know where I want to go next, but I don't know exactly how to get there. In between episodes, I was wandering around the world, looking around, thinking around, pondering around until the creative director himself, a dear Bonzo boy Bonzo. Oh, buddy, if I had food that you liked, oh, you already know, you bet that you'd be getting so much of it right now. I'm so sorry, but Bonzo gave me the wonderful idea that farms are specifically the thing I need in my life today. Welcome back to the Minecraft Guide, everybody. Over the course of the next however many minutes it ends up being, we're going to take a look at 5 amazing farms to kick you off just right inside of 1.21. Down below, I'd love to know your #1 go-to starter farm of all time. Alrighty, so bright and early the next morning, for farm #1 that I'd like to build today, it's gonna be a little bit dangerous. This farm is going to have open sitting fire inside of it, which means all of these trees, or maybe not all of them, but many of the trees, unfortunately, they're gonna have to go. So when we made that big move to the metaphorical Wild Wild West a couple episodes ago, I brought tons and tons of different supplies. One of those supplies that I've been sitting on for so long is deep slate. It's so beautiful, but I don't know how to fit it in. I also think I figured out a little bit of an ingenious plan. So with this build, it's gonna have a little bit of fire, and fire is very, very bad, no bueno. But for starter farm #1, which 100% of the time, by the way, you should isolate away from anything that you care about, potentially burning down. For starter farm #1, what if maybe to get around all of the fiery badness and everything, we just took this farm and, slapped it hanging out into the water. Now, thinking about this farm and what I know I'm going to end up doing with it, I'm trying to come up with a cool design here. I want a base, and this base needs to be a little bit circular. What if maybe I took, say, staircases and kind of stepped up, put pillars going up, and these pillars going up, kind of how they're positioned, is going to help imaginatively turn it into a big giant circle. I think it'll work. Alright, now next up, I want to try something a little bit bold. Maybe tie it into the other side of the river with that tiny bit of blue all the way over there. I want to try something bold. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but what if I maybe took, warped blocks in here and kind of started to, build them up as the base of the farm? I was thinking about how I want to build this farm, and I kind of think I like the idea of having it almost be like a pedestal vibe, So maybe we go ahead and build this pedestal vibe thing up, like a couple of blocks, jump down, check the height. Maybe something like that. I could fill it in with walls in the middle, and then a cool circly top part on the top that doesn't burn. That sounds interesting to me. Let's see what we can cook up. Now I want to get bold, crazy, and a little bit wild. On top of our build here, we're looking pretty cool. It's a nice pedestal. The very final thing I need to do, though, before I can actually put the farm in, is build a spot to actually be able to set the farm up on, and the farm needs to always, never, not even once burn. I also wanted to tie it into the whole area around here. That's where this strange purple wood color comes in. I would be 1 block short. Whatever, nobody will know. And voila, just like that, not bad. All that I need now, finally, is a pickaxe. So for farm #1, let's play the game of sorts, if you will. Quick, think fast. What is the single most important thing to have more than enough of early game? I'll give you a little bit of a hint. You use this thing for literally everything in the entire game. You could find this thing literally everywhere in the game. Hey, wait a second. I just thought of one more thing. What if maybe on the corners I built this small thing up, something like that, then went ahead and put one more like that, and then turned around and did it on the other sides, and even better, put lanterns hanging. Oh, yes. Anyways, for farm #1 here, blocks are one of the most important things in the entire game. Minecraft 1.21, with the brand new copper grade, its functionality and everything, gives us a new opportunity for one of the best cobblestone generators in the entire game. I mean, look at this thing. It's self-contained within a 5x5-ish area. If I wanted to level it up a little bit more, I could throw some hoppers underneath the cobblestone, but anytime I need more blocks now, all I need to do is stand right here in the safety of home sweet home. Yeah, I really should add some hoppers to it. Yeah, anyways, I stand here in the safety of home sweet home and dig the blocks out as many times as I need the blocks. Add a couple of lanterns to the thing, and not only is it an essential starter farm, but also one of the most beautiful ever. Alright, so without giving too much away, farm number 2 is going to be very, very important, specifically for the Minecraft 1.21 update. I was doing like quite a bit of thinking about like different things that I want to do and how I'm going to actually be able to accomplish those goals. Man, this is so hard to talk about while trying to be so secretive and discreet. Thinking about what I want to do, a lot of these trees are going to have to go down, by the way, but thinking about what I want to do here, I'm going to need quite a bit of a certain type of item. I was thinking maybe for farm number 2, one of the most absolutely important farms for 1.21, I could go ahead and set up like a pretty decent sized farm. I was thinking maybe, what do I have here? 3 sections of 4. So 3 sections of 4 by 3 sections of 4. Step 1, big a giant old platform, something like this, clear it out of all the trees. My world motto in here, at least at this point, no log shall lie unstripped. Fill it all in so it's flat, even ground. Secret chicken, I am so sorry about this, but you wait there, in the bunker. Little bit more dirt to fill it all in. Grab some sugar cane. Then go ahead and grab a little bit more sugar cane. And now that pattern, oh, the disgusting, sickening pattern. Okay, so let's think about this. We have one water source in the corner. I want to get maximum spacing in here. That means I think the next water source goes right there. And that'll help me fill it all entirely and all the way. Then that would mean, I think we go 1 over, 2 up, and then 6... No, that doesn't make sense. 1 over, 2 up, that would mean a water source right there. Thinking about how I need to fill these things in, so... Maybe? I can't remember this pattern. Okay, let's just start again. We start right there. We go 2 up. We go over 1. 100%. That's the pattern right there. If I can keep that exact move in mind the whole time, this is going to be a cakewalk, a piece of cake. Hey, when you going back? Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a good question. Whoever asked that from the back. So I actually saw a couple people ask this from the back in the comments of the last episode. When am I returning to the other base? And kind of connected to that, I'm going to go ahead and spin off of it and say, what in the world are we unlocking today? So, when am I returning to the other base? I don't know, really. I know for sure that at some point in the world, we will be returning to the other base. However, right now, I'm kind of just having way too much fun building out a brand new, like, entirely unique zone of the world. And also, I figured, you know, like, depending on whatever happens in the future, how cool would it be to come back over to spawn and say, for the next update, I already have 2 separate civilizations on the river. Go ahead and build up another one themed with, like, whatever is new at the time of, you know, whenever there's a new update. So I figured if it's okay with you guys, we'll go ahead and hang out over here at this new base for a little bit longer, keep building it up until eventually we make a grand return back home. So for reasons that we're going to get into a little bit more in the next episode, don't ask about it, a sugarcane farm is one of the most important farms to have for the 1.21 update. Now, don't you worry yourself. This little bare bones hunk of junk that I'm showing you right now, it's only a work in progress. By the end of the episode, we'll come back and touch it up. Now, in the last episode, we set up this beautiful beauty over here. I said we'd come back ready than ever to harvest it. Harvesting it, number 1 right there, and the big problem. So I said that this farm right here, this single one, would unlock every single other farm that I built in the world, and I could use them all again, and I don't know. I just felt like a little bit of an imposter. I kind of thought about it and thought that having just this one single farm unlock every single other farm in the entire world is maybe a little bit cheaty, so that's why we're here today. For real this time, after we finish building the rest of the farms, every single other farm in this world will then be unlocked, even the other ones at the other base. The next starter farm, absolutely, you need to build inside of your world for 1.21, and every other update is one of these little buddies right here. Oh, wow, I have deep slate on deep slate down here, too. I wish I had tough. Ah, that's tough. Starter farm, another one that is a beautiful one to have, and you should have inside of every single world, starting or not, is some kind of spawner experience farm. We've got a basic zombie spawner in there. They drop the zombies down, they move over, get pulled into an elevator, rocket it up, moved over a couple of blocks, and then dropped right back down. when they're dropped down for me, they're brought down to like 1 or 2 hits depending on the weapon that I have. Any kind of mob experience farm is essentially a go-to early game because, I mean, like in 1.21, every other update, you're always going to take something on and need a little bit more levels. For 1.21, maybe you're trying to like enchant up some gear for the trial chamber. Well, 100%, this is the move, the way to go. I think on a different note, I've had a zombie stuck inside of this elevator for like a million years somewhere. Now, realistically, because of where we're at in our world and how much extra time it would take to go out into the world and find another spawner, I'm gonna just go ahead and call it good. We don't need to build another one. But hey, speaking of farms, another beautiful starter farm to have inside of every single world. Well, for this one, of course, you've got options on options. Actually, there are so many different ways you could go about settling your food situation. But no matter what, early game Minecraft, late game Minecraft, middle game Minecraft, 100% of the time, you need food. So your first option for a wonderful food farm is to build exactly what we built in the last episode. We got a couple farming plots, we got a tiny bit of redstone to make it easier, water collection streams to move all of the items into hoppers, and yeah, it's just beautiful. Another early game starter food farm that is kind of clutch is a sweet berry farm, something like this right here. If you want to cheapen the build, you can go ahead and use slabs instead of trapdoors, but line some sweet berry bushes up with a block on top of them so you can't slide into them and take damage. Then all you need to do is walk by them and harvest them. Walk down the middle rows to pick up all of the berries, you're good to go. Those are 2 great options, and really, they're great. But those are only 2 great options. Perhaps maybe the most heavenly of all starter farms sits on the horizon on the hill right here, the good old-fashioned cow crusher. Inside of this farm, I can't take it apart, but I got a hopper on the bottom with a chest that a hopper feeds into. I got a staircase right there so I can open the chest, and then solid blocks all around it. Water in the bottom, put the cows inside, feed the cows their most desired food of all time. And eventually, at least on Minecraft Java, entity cramming sets in and makes one of the most overpowered farms ever. Plain and simple, the food farm, and don't sleep on it. Alright, now, back to the sugarcane farm for just another second. My goal here, in between episodes, is going to be continue to grind it out over at this farm, stand around, continue to harvest the sugarcane. My end goal here, and this farm is going to far surpass it, but my end goal over here is to have a farm that when I harvest it, it will yield me at least 2 stacks of sugarcane. That's going to be big for what we're going to pull off next. Design-wise, though, I think that farm, very simple, but it could use a little bit more. So, for starters, no more copper fence blocking off the entrance of the farm. I left a permanent little water puddle over there, too. I think that looks nice. I was also thinking maybe an easier way to walk into the farm, like a smooth step up, just like that. Now, this is going to get a little bit tricky in here, but I think I need to pull down the land a little bit because I'm going to need to have a road cutting over that way to the other farm, which, by the way, is behaving so good. I've been watching it the whole time today. Not a single thing is burnt down. I think we're in the clear. All right, then, one of my favorite build tricks of all time. We're not really going to get to see the full effect of it, but when I place a fence gate down, it will actually bump a little bit down if I place it next to a wall. Like, check this out. When I put the fence gate there and no wall, it sits a little bit higher. If I put a wall down, the gate bumps down. I think this combination right here with the pillar 2 occasionally, well, I believe this is going to make one of the coolest looking fences that I could ever build. And wow, look at this stuff. It's growing in no time. So my job here will be to keep a close eye on all of this stuff, harvest it up so the next time we come back and it's basically ready to go again. We got a little road going in here. It's nice and cozy, small, kind of going between the trees. I want to preserve the natural forest. We walk all the way over to this farm, still going strong, looking really good. And then finally, this open spot right here, I think this will be the perfect spot. Also, can't really build anything birdable too close to it, right? Anyway, I think this will be the perfect spot for the final farm that we're going to need for Minecraft 1.21. So I'll admit it, our 5th starter farm today is a little bit less of a farm and slightly more of a machine, but either way, this is great to have for Minecraft 1.21, especially if you're trying to race yourself over to the trial chamber as quick as possible. Now I'll explain a little bit more as to why this is such a good farm for this update in the next episode, but an auto smelter. So an auto smelter, a compacted design, we're looking at something like this. You can do it with 1 furnace. I like the idea of 2 right here. We're gonna have a hopper on the bottom going into a chest, a hopper on the side with the chest above it, and then finally a hopper on the back or top of it with more chests above that other hopper. Hey, yo, wait a second. Ooh. Well, okay, look, it's been a minute since I built an auto smelter. The other hopper should go on the top. We would have a thing going into the top to funnel other things into the bottom. Yeah, wow, I remember how to build one of these things. Yeah, so much better. One small little mishap aside, I kind of can't believe that this is, I believe, the very first auto smelter of this entire world. Like, we've been in this thing like almost 1,000 days, whatever. Never have I ever built an auto smelter. Yeah, that's crazy. Now, this auto smelter, for the design, I've got a vision. For the function, I have an idea. So for this thing, I know that I'm not going to do like the most absurd auto smelting operation in the world. I just need a simple auto smelter. For a simple auto smelter, it's really essentially something like that. We've got the chest up top. This is going to be our input. We've got the chest on the side. That's actually going to be our fuel as soon as we put something in, it funnels in. And then the bottom, that's output. And so, that's that. Aside from a couple more small design decisions that I'd like to do around the auto smelter, 5 farms for Minecraft 1.21. Set any or even all of the farms that we built here today up inside of your world, and you'll be set for Minecraft 1.21. Minecraft Guide, thank you all so much for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. Tap that like button if you did. On the end card will be the full series playlist. Check it out for even more cool farms. I'll see you all tomorrow with a fully grown, replanted, and ready to harvest sugarcane farm. Goodbye.